Hello, everybody. It's Nancy Jean in the garden, along with Jeffrey on a Saturday. Yeah.
Hello.
This is our international show.
International. And I have coffee. International. I have Mexican coffee.
And Mimi Nee says hi. And Warrior Widow, we're going to get your question in a minute. We're going to talk about some other stuff first. For those of you who watch and keep saying she says she's going to do this, I am doing the Oracle Garden class. I put some stuff together. I put some nice graphics together. I put some nice material together. And this is what I want to say about the Oracle. Now, you can't buy an Oracle Garden. You have to have one because I got tired of dealing with them. But the Oracle Garden is a reading. The Oracle Garden is a ritual map, a gateway from the physical to the subtle realms. It's an altar of transformation, which is based on sacred geometry, where we channel the elements of crystals as both messengers and mirrors. And you see me do that a lot of times. This is reflecting this feeling around you. And then the layout spreads to form a connection between form and frequency. The silk scarf that it sits on acts as a geometric transmitter that encloses the vibrations and brings them into the earthly plane. And I'm going to be teaching my class to Oracle gardeners, and I want you to know I worked with the shop where most of you bought your gardens from, and I have a list of 50-some names, and I will be sending out the invitation as soon as I get my schedule set. I'm still in recovery, but I'm going to tell you, when it talks about sacred geometry, this is sacred geometry. The side that's the most spread out is a human fingerprint. The other side is the rings of a tree. When they talk about how the earth and things within the earth reflect the energies, this is what it's talking about. And I'm trying to throw those kinds of bits of information to people because I've been talking to some people who follow us, and they say we talk over their heads. We talk about certain things, and they're like, what does that mean? And they'll send me emails saying, I don't understand what that means. And, I'll send back a quick explanation of it. And it's like any other world. It has a vocabulary. So I'm trying to slow things down and bring y'all in. And the garden is a great place to see all the different energies, because when I created the garden, I was already a very proficient reader. I knew how to work with vibrations. I knew how to work with grids to a certain extent. And I was hoping that this could link things together. And when I've been concentrating on how to present the Oracle Garden, it's occurred to me that it is the tool that brings all the elements together. And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to bring my understanding of universal patterns and how crystals worked all in one place. So we're here. Hi, Mr. Jeffrey.
Hello.
And one of the ways that I started reading tarot when I was really young. I know you're not going to be able to read since you're the age of 12 if you're 60 years old, but this is for Jeffrey and I. Slots are still open for our tarot class because we've opened it to later in June, which is fortunate for you people because now this week, I'm really starting to feel well. And the air cleaners are working in my house, and whatever was trying to kill me that was in the air of my house is being pushed away by them and some lovely friends who provided those for me. And I really, I'm waking up every day with my blood sats in the mid-90s, oxygen sats, and I'm really happy. I'm completely here. I feel like I'm here. I'm really feeling better, but I know I'm still healing, so it's going to be a little bit slower. But Jeffrey and I, when we get ready to teach this class, it's a go, go, go class, isn't it, Jeffrey? I mean,
yes.
It's
the go, go, go. Yes.
You can't follow it. I developed this class 40 years ago to teach people who said, gee, I wish I could do what you do. and that's what it's for. So slots are still open for that class. If you're watching this now when we're live on Saturday, or if you're going to watch it later in the week. A lot of
I have 2 tarot resources too. I have, well, 3 really. One of them is a tarot cheat sheet. So it goes through a single card and I give you 3 keywords for each card. And the other one I have, it's digital. It's Tarot Decoded, where I go through every single card in the deck, and I talk about the symbolism and the meaning, the numbers, and the traditional interpretation and my interpretation. And you can download that on my site, ripecolor.com, and it's called Tarot Decoded. So we are so ready.
We are. And let's see. Oh, I'm going to show this one early. Nancy Cast, greetings to all. It's her birthday next week. So everybody wish her a happy birthday today.
Happy birthday.
And what we got going here.
I don't have my glasses on, so I sort of see the
You're
words.
I'm going to have to read really loud so Jeffrey can hear me in Mexico.
It's going to rain here today because there's that storm coming up the coast. So it's raining. So
I hope you don't get what Austin got. Jeez.
No. Because it's already further north. It's off the coast. It's like near Nayarit. No. But we're going to have rain.
It's cooling down here, which is lovely. And enough of the weather reports. Okay. The first, I'm going to answer some questions that came in comments first. For the 3 people who posted, I'm getting to your question, but they're all mediumistic, and I need to not do mediumistic and jump into what I'm about to talk about now. This is from Warrior Widow, and she put this in early in the chat. Hi, can you please pick the question? I'm going through something so weird and funny. I did channel writing. You don't have to put quotes around it. We know what it means. Randomly an hour ago, and it was awesome. She feels giddy. Next comment. I felt something was coming. I didn't know what. Lots of ear ringing. The world seems a bit more shiny and fluffy. I know it sounds insane. I know people this has happened to. But when it happens to you, and then she goes, well, what do you do? Okay, so then her last comment, and this is what we're going to talk about. Yes, everything you just felt is very real. It happens to us all the time. We're used to it. You get used to it. But it's a lot of fun the first time it happens.
I channel every day.
Right. And I'm having a stroke or dying slowly. Now, that last statement is why so many of you say, oh, I wish I could do what you do, but things happen around you and you just don't pay attention. Warrior Widow was up for it today, and she felt it. And that is what's when people talk about these huge changes we're going through, and the changes that are coming to all of us, it's because we're opening up spiritually that way. And somebody said to me, how can you keep such a happy feeling inside of yourself, or how can you keep that going when you see what's happening in the world? It's not that I don't see what's happening in the world. It's not that I don't know we have horrible leadership, but we need to have that horrible leadership so y'all can understand how flawed what was going on around us before was. And one of the reasons I can keep going is because I've done enough channeling and spiritual work. And one day I was just sitting here, not even really meaning to do any of that. And I got whisked away to the edge of the universe. And I saw the entire interconnectedness of all of us. And one reader I heard today speaking about how what we're leading up to is in the next 3 to 7 years is we're changing as a species, and we're going to understand that interconnectedness and how you're never alone. And before I had that experience 3.5 years ago, my biggest fear was to be alone. I mean, to ever be alone. From the time I was a small child, I can remember being nuts about being alone. And the first thing I heard when I was staring out and sitting at the edge of the universe, and I was like a spark of energy on the edge of the universe, and I looked out and I saw the whole universe in front of me. It says, you're a part of this. And I knew I was. I could take that energy and go to the furthest reaches in the universe and touch it. It was all connected, and I knew that I was never alone. That was an illusion from being on the earth, and I will never be alone. So if y'all are thinking about, well, why do I want to open myself up to this? So that you can never feel alone again, so you can never feel isolated, so you can begin to understand the true potential of the human experience. I'm off my soapbox. Jeffrey, what do you want to say?
We are the universe and the universe is us. So messages come in all different forms and shapes and sizes. Sometimes it's what you hear, it's little bits of conversation, it's something that you see on the YouTube, it's a t-shirt that somebody's wearing, it's a truck that goes by that has a sign on it, it's a bird, the clouds, it's the trees, and and people are like, oh, it's who we are.
When we're open to it, when we're not so closed in with worry and fear.
Living in cities and you know, I think the best and the most important thing you can do now for everyone, and this is simple and free, is like you go out in nature. It's as simple as that. You go out in nature and try to take off your shoes and socks and stand on the earth and receive energy. Give away what you don't want. I release my fear, my anger, my blame, my shame, my resentment, my guilt, and receive. And if you can't do that, oh, that's so complicated, then go sit in a park. Go, go stand by the tree in your yard. Talk to the flowers around. The beach, the mountains.
You know, to take air in is to inspire, to breathe it in, and to let it out is to expire. But it's so easy. You get inspiration when you breathe in air.
Yeah.
Just breathe.
Yeah. And breathing in really, really deeply and holding it for a little bit, at like 2 or 3 seconds, and then releasing it slowly. And then let's say you held it the first time for say 2 seconds. And then the second one, you hold it, you breathe in more and you hold it for say 3 seconds. And then the next one, say 4. That will really like bring you right down to the earth, to like calm.
That's right. That brings you back into being in the body you're in instead of being put in pieces. Anyway, we had 2 questions posted and this is the first one.
Okay, I'm gonna this is easier.
Okay. Oh, you look so distinctive when you wear those.
And it's just that I hate the glare.
Father's Day is nearing in a couple weeks. I would like to know if my dad, Manuel, has any messages for you.
Okay.
And for me, when I do my medium work like this, I use the Meanings Talking to Heaven by Von Prague. It's a brilliant, brilliant deck. If you have any interest in talking to the other side, it's a really, I'm used to working with decks, but it's a real good way to work with that element. And this is not just a show about people on the other side. We're talking about us right now and where we are. But for Rosa, let me see what you got, Jeffrey?
I got a really interesting message. Trust your heart. Trust your heart. Don't go out and ask everybody for their opinion. You have the answer within you. You trust your heart and keep it to yourself. Don't go around asking everyone for what. I feel like he kind of taught you that. It feels like that he taught you. He taught you how to be in touch with your own inner energy and like live by his example. Because look, I get this one, which is like a rock and a hard place. And this is always to trust your heart, right? That's where the healing is. That's where the intuition is. And then I got the hermit. And the Hermit is a really profound card. The Hermit is really about going within, looking within, being by yourself, finding your own light and letting your own light guide you. Not say, oh, what do you think? What do you think? Oh, I found this and I found, like, go in. I feel like that's the real message that he has for you. It's like you have everything that you need. And I feel like he taught you that.
Mm-hmm.
And to trust that and to see where that leads instead of, well, what is someone's going to think? And and this one said that. It's like, don't talk and don't ask. Be
Yep.
with you. Yeah.
Okay. What I got, this is so amazing after last conversation we had. You are never alone.
There you go.
It goes, and I'm here with you right now. I'm standing right beside you.
Mhm.
Heaven isn't up in the sky or another dimension or frequency, parallel with earthly physical plane. Every movement of every day, you are accompanied by powerful and loving guardians who watch over you from their dimension. They interact with your physical experience to help you bring divine spirit into the earthly plane. Without spirit, physical world would wither because spirit is the life force of everything and everyone. The angels and the guides, including him, and he's one of your guides, who accompany you in your heavenly entourage, are lovingly supporting you. You, like everyone, has access to heavenly help by acknowledging and attuning to the higher dimension. Meditation, music, nature walks, creativity, all the stuff Jeffrey just talked about, are gentle actions that help you connect consciously. We are here and we are with you. And he really is with you. And you feel him. Did he used to touch the back of your hair when you were a child? Because I have a feeling every once in a while you
That's
feel
it.
him touch the back of your head. And that's him. And you shouldn't, this should give you that chance to have permission to not have to say, I miss him so, because he's here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I hope that helps, Rosa. And we got another medium question. These are holiday.
Okay. For this first question, I'm getting, look, if you sit with yourself and you get that feeling of like the touch of your back of your hair, you're like, call it in and then say to him, what should I do with this situation? What would you do? You know, this is where I'm at with
Mm-hmm.
job or whatever. What would you do? What do you think? Like call him in, like develop that relationship so that, you know, it's almost like, you know, somebody moved to like another continent and so you don't really see them, but you know they're there and you know you're never going to get there and you know that they're never going to come there because both of you are free to fly or something like that. And it's like, but they're there. So it's like, okay, well, I have to wait for 7 hours because it's in Europe or something. But it's like, yeah, well, around this time of day, I'm going to call. And the more you do that, the more you're going to be able to develop it. That's what I get. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
next.
Okay. This is Christie. My mother-in-law, Joyce, passed away on 6/13/05. Does she have any message for my husband? So I normally don't answer questions unless the person who asks the question is on the line, but Christie and I kind of have an understanding. I've been around a lot of her stuff, and and I have a real good connection. And what you got, Jeffrey? You want to go first?
No, right away. Even before you finished it, because I can't really see the question without my glasses. I was getting like, you were like her daughter to her. You were like a daughter to her. You were truly like a daughter to her. It really feels lovely.
Okay, and what I got this time is, I always give you a good night kiss. Isn't that cute? And what it says is, I know that you still need me in your life, so I try to make my presence known to you to comfort you. I enlarge my energy so you can clearly feel me standing next to you, or I will move a significant object. Your husband's finding things moved that he relates to his mother being around, or things that of times they shared together. When you are ready to go to sleep, I always visit you and put a loving kiss on your forehead and tuck you into bed. My love for you has been elevated to its purest level, and I am now so close to being an angel as a human soul can be. So when I'm with you, please know that my intentions are solely to help you. I think there's some conflict with Mom right at the end. I think he still has questions about that. I receive great happiness from sharing more time with you, and ultimately, my good night kisses are my ways of bringing heavenly healing into your life. Hope that works.
I really get that you were super duper connected to her.
Mm-hmm.
Really super duper connected to her.
Yeah, she says at all times.
Yeah, and so it's sort of like the last like talk with her because look, I got the empath and I got the high priestess for God's sake. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what else to say.
Well, Christie's going through some stuff where she's learning how the world works on our end.
I think yes. Okay. Now, okay. I'm getting that you're there to teach him the lesson that she was teaching him, which is to listen to his own guidance.
Yeah, that's kind of Chris from what she's told me. That's
Yeah.
why I went ahead and read it, because her husband is not as receptive, may we say, to some of what we say.
Yeah. No, he has to let go of that thinking, and you're the one who holds his hand. You're like his guide to be guided.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm looking for questions, so
Very interesting.
okay.
Very interesting.
I'm looking for some questions, and we had a bunch of comments come in, and I try to do it all, guys, but there's only so much in my head. Okay, yeah, we're gonna get rid of that one. Hide. Let's see. Okay, we got a couple of them. Oh, we gotta hide that one. Okay, now I go back to comments. Fascinating stuff. People have birds in their backyards and stuff. I have a jet airport in the back of my yard. Okay. I did. I used to. I used to live under Love Field.
I know where that is.
Yeah, Jeffrey used to fly into Dallas. He knows exactly where it is. You could have walked to my house from where you landed, Jeffrey. Not to my condos. But they were so, we had our place so sound insulated, and once they put the hush kits on, it wasn't bad. But when my kids were little, it's really weird. It's amazing what you will learn to live with when you're exposed to being a young child. We lived under the airport. We could hear the plane coming. We knew when the sound was going to get so loud you couldn't be heard if you talked. Everyone would stop. We knew when it went far enough away, and then we could start to talk again. And my daughter was talking to someone about growing up under an airport and how you learn how to do that. And this woman goes, "That's insane." Well, it's not if the place you can afford to live is under an airport. Guys, really.
There are some elevated trains in New York. You call it the L.
Oh, God, yes. In Chicago,
right?
we had the same thing.
So they have elevated trains in parts of Brooklyn and Queens mostly. And it's literally some apartments would be facing the train. And I'm telling you, you could like throw something from the train into someone's like window if you wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And, like maybe, I don't even know how far, I don't know, not even 100 yards.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, how do people live like that? But I think, those buildings had already been built.
Mm-hmm.
And then they, it used to just be a road, and then they added the L. So.
Yeah, we had L's in Chicago. That's what the Loop is. It's
Yeah.
an elevated train that goes around the city.
Yeah, they have a few elevated trains here, but they're much, much higher. They're quite high.
Well, they're called elevated trains, but all the trains here are so quiet because they were all built after 1990. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
May I have a reading on energy? of the communication portal that she's opening up. Debbie wants to know about the communication portal she's opening up.
I love your picture, Debbie. It's very drama.
That's her. I think that's her fire she has outside her house. She lives in Florida where it's very wet, and you can have fires that look like that.
Energy.
I'm just going to ask about it. And everybody's learning their own shtick and what they do and what works for them. And I know you've been working on this for a while.
It's like, wow. Beautiful. Very interesting.
No
All right,
kidding.
I start with the 10 of Pentacles, so it's like it's a whole new family opening up to you. It's like a whole new family. It's like a whole new world that's very solid and full of wealth. Full of wealth in a way. I want to say wealth.
Abundance.
Abundance. Thank you. And it's like something you've been looking toward, and it's like, but it seems so far away. But it's you're being called there. You know, you're like you're ready. You're
I have
ready.
three too. 3 cups.
Yeah, and you know, you're ready. And I think sometimes you beat yourself up because it's not coming at the time and the way you want, and it's like I don't understand. A little bit of that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to teach you how to nurture yourself in a way that you, in a much more, in a more loving, practical way than you have in the past. It's going to really teach you how to take care of yourself in a way that is very beneficial and very practical.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice energy. It's a really nice energy.
Yeah. Yeah, are you done?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm using a different deck. This is called Reflections. This is the Two of Swords in this deck. But it said, and it's reversed in your reading, which means you got told now is the time to go do this. And when you were first out there playing with it, it was so nurturing and warm. And she lives in Florida, so it looks like Florida. But now you've hit the moon phase where you're having to really look into the darker parts of yourself and how that works, because you have to bring those up so that you can create a loving environment.
Mm-hmm.
And your problem right now is you got the Knight of Wands reversed. You want to hurry up and get past it.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't, because I'm going to tell you what the payoff is. If you deal with the moon side and do the Knight of Wands, you're the High Priestess. It's yours. And once you open it, you can carry it with you anywhere. This is going to become a portable communication portal for you. So, very good, Miss.
The moon is a fascinating card. The moon is a freaking fascinating card.
Oh, I love the moon.
The moon is really, it's a card of Pisces.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the energy of Pisces, it's these two fish going in opposite directions.
Mm-hmm.
Because Pisces is on this earth, but they're also receiving messages from heaven at all times, like at all times. And so it's a little confusing. It's like, well, is this real? Is this not real? And it's really about combining the heart and the head and acting from there. And the other thing about the moon card is like there's a certain sense of enchantment. So there's a certain sense of, I don't really know why I'm buying this book. I don't really know why I'm going to this restaurant. I don't really know why I'm calling this person, but I feel like it's the right thing to do, and that's what you need to follow. You know, even if it doesn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as long as it's not something, crazy and dangerous. It says, oh, go to Antarctica, in a bikini, not like that. So allow it to like unfold in front of you, because the moon also, it's not quite illuminated like the sun is. It's like, I'm not really quite sure. I know it's sort of like looking for a store that is around these 2 or 3 blocks, a little bit like that. Like, I know it's around here somewhere. If I keep on searching it, I'll find it. As long as I'm in the right neighborhood, it'll reveal itself, sort of thing. So trust your heart. Very interesting. Very.
And go read down in the comments because you're getting a lot of support from other people, Debbie, about keeping going and holding on to what you got. So.
And the other thing, like when you're communicating with like other realms, like even if it's the realm, the realm inside of ourselves sometimes could be another realm because we don't really understand how it works. And that, and this is also about communicating with people who have passed on. It's like you can be really like, I need for this to be clearer. Can you make this clearer? Because I don't really understand. Can you make this much more clear and direct? So that I can understand the messages, because sometimes you have a dream about something, it's like, I have no idea what this means. And it's like, I need this to be clearer, please. Do that.
Okay. Jo-Len, aloha. Does my sister Barbara, who passed December 2nd, 2024, have a message for me? How you doing, girl? How's Hawaii? I understand you had a second volcano blow up yesterday.
No, I thought she lives in Texas, but she's from Hawaii. No?
Well, maybe. I thought she lived in Hawaii because she always says aloha.
No, she always says aloha.
She's hiding. Your sister.
She's got a lot of messages for you.
Oh, yeah.
There's something about don't worry about the money. There's something about don't worry about the money. That's one message. And I get this, which is like, 1,000 messages coming to you at once. She's got plenty to say. She's got plenty to say. And you have to tune in, but what I really get is this one. This one is so beautiful. This is really about support. This is about know that you're beloved, know that you're supported. She's also saying it's time for you to step into some leadership. Like maybe she was the leader and she was the like the one who got things done or something like that. And it's time for you to step into that, because that will set you free.
Yeah. Are you finished, Jeffrey?
Yeah.
It says, I have no more earthly worries. And yes, she was always the one that sort of tried to run the show and stuff, Jo-Len. But to be really honest with you, she was the one who felt flawed. She never thought she could do anything right. Everything she did was to catch up. And because she never was forthcoming with her own feelings about how things worked, and she held them in most of the time, it was damage to her physically and emotionally. And you look back at this now and you realize she's been released. I will admit now that I'm deeply afraid that during my life, I was afraid that you and others wouldn't love me if you knew who I really was.
Wow.
I felt deeply flawed and I didn't want you to know. Now that I'm here, though, everything's turned out to a complete new direction. Now I see that I had nothing to worry about me except my own beliefs that were flawed. That belief caused me to act in ways that were harmful to myself and to others, and I want to apologize for hurting you. I thank God that I have no more earthly worries and can now express myself fully and you can see me as truly as I am. Now that I am no longer concerned with others' judgments, I don't stress about money. That's a money thing you heard. Work or day to day. She's telling you, Jo-Len, to be more carefree because she couldn't be. That's her message to you. That's a loving sister message. My sister and I had that kind of relationship where one was up and one was down. And that was carefully orchestrated by one of our parents. And, when she passed and I finally had a talk with her, I found out much the same message you just got from your sister. So take it to heart, dear, because it means that when you hide yourself, when you think you're flawed, that may be the best of you you're keeping.
No, Vicki, you didn't miss it. Don't worry.
What?
No, Vicki wants to know if she missed her question, but she hasn't.
No, I haven't. I haven't gotten there, girl. Okay. Her guys. She used to live
All
under.
you people are cheating, walking away. There's no walking away.
No walking away, guys. We can only answer.
What's going on with all of you?
Well, she did not come in at 22 minutes, so.
It's not like music you can have in the background. You got to be here live, yo.
Or you can listen to it any other day of the week because it's going nowhere once it's on the playlist.
I know walking away. What is this? Let the dog pee on the floor, please.
Okay. I'm going to get a message from your spirit guides because I don't think you want to talk to dead people.
Me, I could talk to dead people all day long, actually.
I'm used to talking to Vicki every week. She's a loyal gardener, and you'll get your guide thing too, Vicki, to come take the Nancy's last 4 classes on gardening, which I'm very close to finishing. Now that I'm strong enough and I can breathe, and I can sit up for longer than an hour without losing a lung.
Vicki, you dealing with anything legal? Are you waiting for a decision or something like that? Because I get justice, and then I get, the decision has not been made yet, but it's being worked on. But I get the Emperor, so the Emperor is really good. I mean, it's going to be really solid and stable, and fair and balanced. Looks good to me. Looks good to me. Yep. But this card doesn't move. This card really doesn't move. So it's like I just have to sit and be patient until I'm sitting at the beach. Make believe you're sitting at the beach with your eyes. It's like when the tide comes close enough, you'll know. There's no forcing this card to move. So in its own time.
Well, this is really teaching you that you're in control. That's what all this is about. And yes, everybody else is losing their crap around you, which is making it hard for you. That's temperance upside down. And they're fighting over BS crap that has nothing to do with nothing.
Right.
But it's going to come out that the King of Wands is a new enterprise is going to be born out of this. And it's going to be born for you out of the Knight of Cups, which is out of a deep spiritual meaning. So just you got to wait it out, girl.
Yeah. And I mean, really, if you look at these cards, he just sits and delegates. He's the Emperor. They come to him. He doesn't go to them.
Right.
And this is like the first card, like the Empress, even though she's not moving, everything is growing around her, right? The Fool is definitely on the move. The Magician, but this one, it's like, this is the first male card that comes through. This is like Dad. And it's this energy of like, I'm just going to sit here and wait because I know that I'm in charge. I delegated my stuff and it'll take what it takes. There's a real sense of solidness between this and and then the opportunity comes.
This is the most important card. You're in the 5 of Wands stage. This is a really interesting 5 of Wands because normally they're bashing at each other. In this one, they're each playing with the wand the way they want to, including one woman who's tied her hands to it and is kind of bound up by it. But they're playing with it. They're doing sparklers. You're just being involved in a whole lot of busy work, energetic busy work.
That was interesting. I think Nancy wanted a birthday reading too.
What?
Nancy Costa. I can't say your name, Nancy.
Castellana. I can't say it either. Her
Ask it.
birthday's in 3 weeks. Her birthday's in. Are we going to read her?
Yeah, she asked earlier. I think I remember.
Yes, you did. And I went past because I'm rude. It's short. Okay, here you go. 7-7.
Castiglione. ¿Verdad?
Yeah, I know. I can see it in my head, but it's like, trust me, there's
Castiglione.
Irish names I can't say.
Oh, Irish names are easy.
No, Siobhan. Do you know how Siobhan is
Yeah,
spelled?
yeah. SIOB. Yeah, I know.
They don't make any sense if you're an English speaker.
Yeah, you can give me Polish last names. I can spell them.
Well, I grew up in a town where I grew up in class with kids whose they had no vowels in their names. You know, they were from Central Europe, and the teachers were taught how to put them in. And I could say them then, but I'd probably be real challenged right now.
All right. The heartache is going to lead to harmony. Remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that. That's very important. The heartache leads to harmony. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have the Emperor, who's, again, really solid and stable. And your intuitive gifts are really gonna open up. Like really gonna open up. And it's time to let go of the grief.
Mm-hmm.
Let the grief go so that you have room for the intuition to come in.
And tomorrow is June 1st, right?
June 1, yes.
6-1.
6-1.
7 and 9. 16. You're going into a spiritual year, dear. You're going into a 7-year. And you're 77. Okay. But it's a spiritual, it's going to do a lot. There's a lot of cleaning out that's going to happen. You're going to start to see clearly why what's happened has happened.
Mm-hmm.
And
there's also an element in the Lover's card of real spiritual protection,
Mm-hmm.
And this is the card of Gemini.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. It's Casey's birthday's on Monday. Okay. We're going somewhere?
No, did you
Balls in my court then. Okay. Knowing, and this is from the Witching Hour Oracle.
beautiful.
Keywords are take the first step of trust and trust your soul and intuition. And don't wait until you're ready. You're going to say, oh, I'm going to wait till I'm absolutely ready and then I'll know when to go. No, it ain't going to work.
Yeah.
This is the combination of the High Priestess and the Fool. Now you talk about a weird dating thing. Every living thing on this planet and every living celestial body within the universe has an innate knowledge of what to do. You see this intelligence within a flower, telling it when to bloom. It's within animals when to migrate, telling them when to seek warmer weather. It's within the planets as they go around the sun. And for you, it's take the lead in your situation and trust that you are the right person to bring all the parties together. You are on a path of success and should continue doing what you've been doing. Trust the results that will come of it. And your first impression was correct. Whatever your first impression was, follow that one. Trust that you're feeling about that person or situation. You've got a lot of decisions to make. But you're in a 7-year, you're in a better soul balance situation to handle it. So there you go. Take care, kiddo.
Blessings, Nancy.
And contact me and we'll set up a 6-month reading for your birthday. as my birthday gift to you. Don't everybody do that, because I don't do it for everybody. But okay, BG.
Take it easy, Nancy.
I know.
You want some coffee?
No, I'll drink my water. Thank you. Until I got this lung thing, I didn't realize how much of a stress reading was on my body. So let's see what we got. Any insight? I'm going to do if it's going to change first. And we'll try. What do you got, Jeffrey?
I got that you're going to know when to act. I mean, you have to be really clear about certain things. There are certain things you're going to have to be really clear about. Like this is, like this I won't accept. This I will accept. Be really clear, and know that you're in the position of power.
Mm-hmm.
And I get that you're going to be able to do the money, but it's not. I don't get it like in a month like that. I'm really not getting that.
Mm-mm.
I'm really not getting that. It's a process. This is process. This is a moving card. See?
Mm-hmm. That's one for the person who has vestibular problems. That makes me barf. Don't do that again.
No, certain cards really move and certain cards really don't. That's what I got. It's not a month.
Yeah, I've got the sun reversed, and that still means a yes. It just doesn't mean a yes right now, because you need to get your money together, girl.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely see you moving, because I got the King of Swords.
Mm-hmm.
And when I get it's the Knight of Swords. When I get him, that means you're moving.
Yeah,
and you're going to move. Your real estate agent, the person that's going to help you find it, is a blonde-haired person who has who cares about you. I really want you to see you get in the best place. And if you were to jump right now, you'd make a bad decision. You need to get to a place that feels right and comfortable. That's the next place for you to be. But it's really more a matter of you getting your money together. Yeah. I mean, I think you have enough right now, but I think you're going to find out you don't. And you're just going to have to be a little more patient. And don't jump into something because you have to. Okay. Should I rearrange my furniture as I minimalize and declutter? Or should I just focus on minimalization and recover? I keep changing my focus. That's called procrastination. If you're ever on playing any games on your phone, they have any number of psychologists saying procrastination is not just a thing. It means you've got blah. No, procrastination is just a thing. It's a way of changing up. So let's see. Should you arrange your furniture? Keep rearranging your furniture. I'm not a furniture rearranger. I'm a move-in. I know Jeffrey's, but that's what you do. So
okay. No, okay. You have a strategy. You're moving on it. Continue to move on it, and don't make more work for yourself than you need. That's my answer.
Okay.
Focus on minimalize and just that's the answer, right?
Yeah, how can you know where to move things if you don't know what you got to move? I don't understand.
Yes, you say, am I going to keep this couch? Is this couch worth keeping? No, I get it the hell out of the house. Now I know what I'm doing.
Mhm.
Am I going to keep this table? Ba, 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 ba. That's how you don't make yourself crazy. You have an end goal.
Hmm. Yeah, I got to quit moving the furniture. You're just using it so you can be a hangman. I love this hangman. He's got his head in the sand too.
Like
He's
an
like,
ostrich.
that's a pose I will never take. This body will never look like that.
I used to be able to stand on my head in New York, actually, and I use the wall as a backup, and it's
Hmm.
fascinating to do that yoga pose, and because I could actually stay there quite a while, and it's really the hanged man, and it's like the ceiling becomes the
Yeah,
floor.
the
Yes.
totally new perspective.
Yeah.
And I totally understand that, except I've been hypertensive since I was a child, and standing on my head was like the worst. Okay. And you have been the Queen of Pentacles. So it's your own value system that right now you're trying to work on. And you want to move onwards, but you're not sure where. That's Two of Wands reversed. You don't want to move anything, is the problem. And I have a feeling somehow or another, Kimberly, this was caused by a breakup, and this giant, all of a sudden I have to move everything and rearrange everything. Is it's going to get rid of the pain of that? Work with your inside pain. Jeffrey has a great book. I'm going to hype your book, Jeffrey.
Thank you.
Shadow work. You need to do some shadow work, because this minimalizing and decluttering, it's all a great strategy. But until you do the shadow work to know why you're throwing things away and what you're letting go of, you're not going to do any of it effectively. So does that help you? We gave you a different assignment. You need to declutter and rearrange the furniture inside your head. Is that mean? That's mean. Somebody said that to me, I'd probably
That's
click
not
out.
mean.
It's the truth. And trust me, that's when, of course, that's probably why I have clothes I've owned for 20 years, is because I don't ever declutter.
I'm pretty good at it.
Okay.
Thank God.
Well, God took care of that for you. He burnt your house down.
No, but even before that, I was very good about like, do I really need this?
Yeah, here's a lady who says,
Kimberly, yeah, this is, yeah.
And Warrior Widow said, Eileen Turner has been 3 years hiding. She's been in isolation, healing from trauma. So it's been so hard, but she's now coming out the other side and seeing that it's worth it.
Yeah.
So they're giving you good advice in the chat, girls. Oh no, Warrior Widow, you do not wish you had the ability to tell people what to do.
I tell myself what to do. I don't even listen. So, someone's going to listen to me. I don't even listen to myself half the time.
Yeah, I mean, really. And sometimes you'll just say things and I find my answers that come immediately. There's someone in the chat, not to spill the beans, but they had a sick child and they asked me about their child. And I said, I normally don't do health questions. And I said, no, they're going to find another alternative other than surgery. And she tells me that's true. She wrote me a long letter explaining it all to me. And I told her about a couple of other things that were just as quick. Will my vacation go okay? Yeah, you're really making it worse than it was. So, get on with it. And she wrote about that she did. What's this? I don't understand this question. Hi, my doc doped me. Will the one I have in mind be better? Okay, let's see if Travel's new doctor is going to solve the problem. I'm going to use my money cards. My doctor didn't dump me, but my doctor I've been going through. I've been at the same practice. This is the fourth physician's assistant that's been there in the 8 years I've been going there. I'm starting to think maybe I should go to a practice where there's one person, because because I have to educate them about
Oh,
why.
this is a definite yes. You got a definite yes. A definite yes. Got
Okay.
the sun, which is about abundance, freedom, fertility.
Mhm.
You're walking away and going somewhere else. Great. And I got the 10 of cups. Yeah, it was a blessing.
Oh, I got the best card in the deck for you. The Ace of Wands. Move on to new things because this guy was going nowhere. He was stealing your energy from you. He wasn't listening to you when you talked to him. The new doctor's you're not gonna be as defensive, but it's gonna take you a while to outline where you want to be with them. So good luck with it.
But those are both definite yeses.
Yeah. I'm
Which
gonna
is
go
nice.
talk Jeffrey about our class, about what you do, about your new publications, what's going on. Talk for a minute. I have to.
Oh, okay. We are going to be starting our classes again. I think we just like maybe, I don't know. We're going to start our classes again sometime by the end of June, right? Can you say?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so we do a 6-week class together. We both teach. So the first week we do numerology. The second week we start getting into, what do we start doing? Numbers, right?
Right.
Yeah, we start doing numbers because
We
numbers.
start with the suits and we do the numbers and
Right, we do all the numbers. We go 1 through 10 on all the suits, describe the suits, and then we go into the court card. Then we go into the court cards, right?
right.
And then I do the Fool's Journey, or we do the Fool's Journey, which is the majors, and so then that whole thing is complete, and we start practicing together. And it's really good to have a group class because different people see things in different ways, and there's no right and wrong with the tarot. There, it's like we give you a general feeling of it, but we encourage you to trust your own intuition.
Mm-hmm.
And you get to practice with others. And sometimes, certain people see certain things in the cards. Here, like this, an example.
Mm-hmm.
So I just pulled a card.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, what do you see in the card? Well, it's a lady. She's alone. She seems wealthy. She's in a garden. She's got a bird. What does a bird mean? What's she wearing mean? What do these things mean? What does the little snail mean? What does the other bird? And you'll begin. The point is for us to ignite your own intuition so that you can learn to trust it more and utilize it more, not just with cards, but in your daily life. That's what we're giving the class.
Mm-hmm.
And we're very thorough, and we really enjoy teaching, which helps, because sometimes you get a teacher. You ever have a teacher in high school, they've been doing it for 30 years, and they're like, oh, yeah, it's on page 67. I know, play hard.
I
Like,
wrote the book.
and so we like doing that. And additionally, I've written 2 books. One of them is Tarot Decoded that I described earlier, where I go through every card and I have a meaning for each, plus symbolism, which I'm really big on. And the other one I have is it's called the Shadow Work Tarot Workbook, which gives you it gives you 39 spreads with shadow work in mind. So it'll give you like 3-card questions, 4-card questions. Thank you. A few 5-card, most of them are 3 and 4.
That's
And
me
it's like,
doing my best Vanna White.
right. What does my shadow want me to know? How can I work with it? That's actually a good reading.
Mm-hmm.
And how do I, utilize it?
Maybe we should just do a show when we get things a little more settled because my life's been in turmoil since I've been trying to get well. But we just need to do a show and kind of a dog and pony show and show what we do and show your book and maybe do some readings with it that day.
So that's what I've been doing. And I've been working on other things as well. It's a long story. And I'll get there. When I get there, I'm working.
Oh, do not believe the theory that AI makes your life easier.
That's part of the message. Maybe I can write a book on that.
Mm-hmm.
And what else? Oh, I'm going to be doing June readings either today or tomorrow live, but I'm just going to go through sign by sign. But come and say hello as I do it on my channel.
Yes. And we do, if you're subscribed, and you better be subscribed because no non-subscribers here. We have a weekly readings that we do. And unfortunately, for a while, I couldn't remember how to post them, but now I remember it all. So we're back to that. And on my channel, if you go back and look, I did a whole thing with Andre Carr on looking at the major shift in June and Uranus coming into Gemini, not which politicians are going to get or any of that crap, but it was really a matter of saying, how we can work with that the best. And then the other thing I've got is 6-month readings. They become official tomorrow. Schedule them now on my website at crystaldirections.com. And yes, this is a commercial. And yes, we won't talk about it when people actually do it. And we're ready to go. So that's kind of where we are. And are we leaving, Jeffrey?
I suppose.
I guess. Anyway, I'll be on next Tuesday. I'm not altogether sure who I'm going to be with.
And I'm going to be doing a live either later this afternoon or tomorrow on my, and it's going to be the June, and I'm going to go through all 12 signs. I throw like, I don't know, 9 or 12 cards per sign.
Okay. And I'm going to be with Scott tomorrow. And for those of you who do watch that show, which is all about politics, sickest part of my week. No, I love being with Scott, but it's a different sort of place. And we're going to be doing the current politics, and things are looking brighter and better. And yeah, somebody asked about doing collabs with Andre. He likes doing with me because we don't talk about politics. And but trust me, I don't get, if I did politics, I'd have over 10,000 subscribers easily, but I won't do it. I can't do it all the time. I agreed to do it with Scott, and so I continue to do it with Scott, and I do it with Scott. But I tell you what, I'd rather talk to dead people on the other side than look at a politician, period. So. And if you know me,
I do, I talk about like shadow work and how to get in touch with your spirit and stuff like that, and teach tarot.
We teach you things you can use, but the unfortunate part is it requires you doing something, not just sitting there chewing your fingernails off because you're so terrified they're going to come take you away. And they're not. We are all ascending into a better place. And if they don't want to come along, that's their problem, not mine.
Exactly.
Anyway, Jeffrey and I need to go. He needs to go back into Mexico, and I need to go back into figuring out how to clear off my desk and do my stuff. And everybody have a good day.
And if you ever come to Mexico City, come and say hello.
Yeah, Debbie said how much she loved being on the beaches in Mexico when she was there with her husband. And they love the food. The food there is great.
Yeah, the food's really good. And it's so inexpensive. It's like unbelievable.
I know. I made my own pinto beans last night. But
Yummy, yum.
Well, mine are good because I can get the real spices down here.
I bought a roast chicken like around the corner from me. I bought half a roast chicken. It was $3.
Yeah, everybody up here is slashing their wrists. Anyway, you have a good day. I'm still doing June to December, and trust me, the world gets so much better at the end of this year. Talk to you later. Bye.